Welcome to Mariners Fan Central.
M's fans, Mariners faithful. Before we dive into what truly matters, and believe me, the information I bring you today is crucial for our postseason future, I need to be straightforward with you. This channel is your #1 source for in-depth analysis, exclusive information, and the most reliable and passionate coverage of the Seattle Mariners. If you haven't done so already, subscribe right now. It's the best way to ensure you receive real-time updates and gain access to detailed insights that conventional media simply doesn't have. It's a pact of passion and information, made from fan to fan, from Seattle to the world. I am your direct contact in the M's universe, and what happened in Detroit yesterday wasn't just a win. It was a statement. The Mariners withstood the literal and metaphorical storm at Comerica Park and are now one victory away from sealing their passport to the American League Championship Series, ALCS. It's a position that the team and the fan base representing the passion of our vibrant city of Seattle entirely deserves. We defeated the Detroit Tigers 8-4 on Tuesday in ALDS Game 3, and the narrative behind those numbers is much deeper than the score suggests. The game, as we all know, was delayed for several hours due to the relentless rain in Detroit. But while the city was receiving the rain, it was the Mariners who brought the lightning and thunder to the plate. The team, which had scored only 7 runs in the first 2 games of the series combined, exploded for 8 runs. This change in the offensive tide is not accidental, and this is where strategic analysis becomes vital. Behind the scenes, the internal sources I spoke with indicate that there was an emergency hitting meeting after the Game 2 loss, focused on timing adjustments and a more aggressive approach in early counts. This mindset manifested immediately at the plate. Eugenio Suarez, our Gino, who was coming off a frustrating 0 for 8 in the first 2 ALDS games, was the catalyst. He didn't just break the curse, he did so with authority. A home run early in the game against Tigers starter Jack Flaherty. The significance of this transcends the runs. It's a psychological boost that injected confidence throughout the entire lineup. Suarez himself summed up the feeling. "I think the Seattle Mariners deserve where we are right now, and the fans too." This quote, for me, shows the emotional connection and the sense of mission within the clubhouse. Seattle's power didn't stop there, reaffirming the trend that the Seattle power supply, as we like to call our offense, is our key. We had a total of 3 home runs. The most notable? Cal Raleigh's. The catcher, who led the American League with 60 home runs in the regular season, hitting his home run to a fan wearing a shirt that read, "Pour it here," with a massive number 61 in the middle, was pure baseball poetry, a delicious irony that boosts morale. Raleigh is carrying the offense with his strength, and the fact that our JP Martinez also contributed a home run confirms that the adjusted timing strategy is working. The team is benefiting from a power depth that is hard to contain in a short series. But baseball, especially in the postseason, is a pitching sport, and what Logan Gilbert did was masterful and decisive. Gilbert had a dominant start, the kind of ace performance you demand in a crucial Game 3. He pitched 6 innings, allowing only 1 earned run and striking out 7. The serenity and control he demonstrated on the mound were the perfect counterpoint to the aggressiveness at the plate. My sources highlight that the coaching staff was closely monitoring Gilbert's workload, and his performance allowed the manager to keep the bullpen relatively fresh. A crucial detail for Game 4. Gilbert himself, with the modesty of a true leader, reminded us, "We are very far. 9 innings is a long time. I love the moment we are in. I hope we can win in 4. We would love to win in Seattle, but I don't want to take any chances." That is professionalism. It is understanding that the job is not done. Now let's look at the specific data that fuels our confidence. History tells us that the winner of Game 3 in a 5-game divisional series has a statistically overwhelming chance of winning the series. Specifically, the Game 3 winner has won the series 47 out of 66 times, which represents a success rate of 71.2%. This, coupled with the fact that the Mariners were already the heavy favorites before the series began, significantly tips the scales in our favor for the closeout. Game 4 is scheduled for today, And the M's strategy is clear: close out the series in Detroit and avoid the dreaded Game 5, where the pressure multiplies. To do this, we will send Bryce Miller to the mound to face the Tigers' Casey Mize. Miller, with a 4-6 record and 5.68 ERA, is the question mark in our rotation. Although his season numbers are not breathtaking, the coaching staff is betting on his strikeout ability and his aggressive mentality. The idea is for the offense to continue to sustain Miller, giving him a margin of safety. Mize, on the other hand, is the Tigers' solid bet, with a 14-6 record and 3.87 ERA, and he will be a formidable challenge. First pitch is scheduled for 3 p.m. ET, and the pressure is on the Mariners to execute a game strategy that maximizes the advantage of our revived offense and minimizes the risks on the mound. This is the cold, objective analysis I had for our Game 3. The decision to pitch Bryce Miller in Game 4, instead of potentially using a bullpen day or bringing in someone more experienced, is a bold, strategic move that deserves careful and informed analysis. This is where we separate emotion from postseason pitching management. My analysis, based on discussions with analysts and tracking team trends, is that this is not a gamble, but a risk-to-reward calculation. The manager is essentially declaring, "Our offense is hot, and we need to guarantee the depth of our bullpen for a potential Game 5, or most importantly, for the ALCS. Why? If Miller can deliver 4 to 5 solid innings, even allowing a few runs, the team fully trusts that the offense, now calibrated, can offset that disadvantage. The offense's average runs in the first 2 games, 3.5 runs per game, jumped to 8 runs in Game 3. This trend is the supporting factor for Miller. What Logan Gilbert's performance in Game 3 gave us was a rest luxury. Andres Munoz, 75, for example, although he reacted with fervor in the 9th inning, as seen in the photo accompanying the news, was not overused and is ready. The strategy is to protect the arms of Munoz and other closers so they can be used in critical situations. Using Miller to absorb the early innings protects the high-leverage relievers for the latter half of the game, where the Tigers will be most dangerous. It's a move that considers the present, closing the series, and the future, the ALCS. Furthermore, the pressure is on the Tigers. They are at home, facing elimination, and will need a flawless performance from Casey Mize. If the Mariners can score early, as they did in Game 3, the visiting team's psychological momentum becomes overwhelming. Mize is a control pitcher, but the M's have adjusted to hit the fastball and slider, which are his main pitches. The key will be patience at the plate, to force Mize to raise his pitch count and put him at a disadvantage in the count. For the Mariners faithful, the impact of this victory and the strategy for Game 4 is immense. This is the chance to silence the critics who doubted the team's ability to produce offensively in the postseason. The 8-4 win not only put the team on the verge of the ALCS, but also restored full confidence in our offense's ability to carry the team. It is proof that our one team, one mission vibe is stronger than ever. Seattle's sports passion is latent, waiting to explode on the return home with an AL trophy. In summary, the Game 3 victory was driven by Logan Gilbert's ace performance and the awakening of the offense, specifically Eugenio Suarez's home run. The latter is the most underestimated news. When Jano is on, the M's lineup extends, and the power depth becomes insurmountable. The strategy for Game 4, pitching Bryce Miller, is a cold calculation of pitching management, aiming not only to close the series, but also to protect the best arms for the next phase. The team is playing with seriousness, professionalism, and a tactical approach that honors the fan base. The statistical chance of 71.2% is not a guarantee, but the momentum is clearly on our side. Now the question is for you, Mariners faithful. What is your opinion on pitching Bryce Miller in Game 4? Do you agree with the bullpen management strategy? Or would you have preferred to see a bullpen day to secure the win at any cost? Comment below with your analysis. Friends, we are living a historical moment. To continue receiving this continuous, serious, and passionate coverage, and to have access to insights like this, you know what to do. Like this video to show your support for the M's, comment with your analysis of Game 4, And most importantly, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Together, we will lead the Mariners back to glory. Let's go, Ems!